Hello, I'm Jaime Meyer. I'm a board member with Society for Shamanic Practice, and I've been asked to give a brief answer to the question, what does shamanism mean to me? Uh, I'll try to be brief because I can go on for a long time about this, but I've been thinking about it a little bit, and I think that for me, what I love about the shamanic path, which I've been studying since the mid 1980s, so it's coming up on 40 years now, and I've been making my living from teaching and leading various experiences for a little maybe 11 or 12 years. So I've been really deeply into this path, and I think what I love about it the most is that it is a path of the imagination. And even that word sometimes is kind of dicey because our culture, the Western culture, really tends to diminish the imagination as kind of superfluous or not to be trusted, etc. And shamanism, and I actually think all religious and spiritual paths do this, but they don't cop to it as much as shamanism does. Shamanism says the imagination is a primary sacred tool for human beings. It's a sacred power that we have, that we can draw on to help us become larger beings than our ego or our smaller self tries to convince us that we are. And so shamanism for me is working with the imagination as a sacred tool. So of course that's difficult because anybody who walks the shamanic path at any level is probably always asking themselves the question, did I just make that up, or is that an actual experience? And that's what I love about it. It's difficult. I love that shamanism is difficult. It takes discipline. It takes some real wrestling with your ego, with your self-doubt. And our world is filled with voices that will give you plenty of doubt about what you're doing or what you're thinking. So shamanism is a difficult path, and I love that. I came to shamanism from being an artist. I was a playwright for a long time, and I worked in the theater and had some moderate success as a playwright. And at a certain point in my kind of playwriting career, I started to realize that the theater, as much as I loved it, was not really what I was after. What I was after was the act of writing. I loved going into that interior space or that spirit world space or whatever to do my writing. And when I started to study shamanism, I realized, basically I think maybe what I was doing as a playwright was maybe less playwriting and more shamanic journeying, which is one of the reasons why my plays way back then were weird. Like they were weird. And when I became comfortable with the idea that that weirdness is a good thing, shamanism opened for me. So the aspect of the imagination, the aspect of having to wrestle all the time, with self-doubt and with are things real or not. And also, we live in a world right now where people are saying, oh, there's no truth anymore. And what they mean by that is we've come to the realization that really we all engage in manufacturing our own construct that we can call truth or whatever. And shamanism, kind of affirms that we enter into our own relationship with this incredible mystery of the powers of life, the powers of death, mystery, largeness, immensity. And our relationship is our own. The relationship I might have with a certain spirit guide or even having an experience, I might experience it along with somebody next to me, and I might be having a completely different kind of experience. And both of them are valid. They're both, truth. In a certain way, truth is not even relevant because truth comes kind of from the rational mind, and shamanism, I think, comes from a different mind or a different place in the human spirit. So I like that. I like that shamanism affirms that we have this immense part of ourself that we can work with, that a lot of our culture says, that's not valuable. But shamanism says, are you kidding? That is where the value's at. So I could go on about this, but I think to keep this brief, I'll leave it at that. Shamanism is a path of the imagination, of the sacred imagination, of entering into the holiness and the reverence that imagination opens in us. And I'll leave it at that. So thanks.